We're talking the three biggest stories in Reno. We are recapping the Snake River Stampede, and we're giving you 3 stars from rodeos that didn't take place in Nampa, Idaho, or Reno, Nevada. We're coming to you, as always, from Fort Worth, Texas, our studio, furnished by Runyon's Fine Furniture, also brought to you in part by Justin Boots. Now let's get in to those Reno storylines, the beginning of the summer run every single year. And I want to talk about bareback rider Cade Sunier to kick things off. Cade Sunier, 170.5 points on 2. He leads the average in Reno. And this is a guy who burst onto the scene, finished number 3 in the world in 2023. And we haven't heard from him as much as I thought in the last 2 years. But like I said, he leads that average in Reno. He's number 25 in the world right now. Would undoubtedly move up into the top 20 with a win, a top 3 finish. A good showing in Reno will put him right back into NFR contention. And he's hot right now. He won the Silver State Stampede. He also won Johnson County the week before that. So in the last 2 weekends, 2 wins. We'll see if he can do it in Reno. Remember, this is a guy who's won Calgary before, had a huge summer in 2023. So all in front of him there. This weekend, though, could be a pivotal jump that takes him from kind of the outskirts of that top 20, 25 in the world into NFR contention officially with the whole summer ahead of him. Let's move on to Tristan Hutchings. Dating back to last year, Tristan Hutchings has 3 rides in a row of 90 points or better in Reno, 90.5 and 90.5. Last year on his 2 rides, 181 points on 2. The most we have seen in the last decade in Reno, and quite frankly, maybe the most ever. The stats do not go back that far. I can't tell you on that part. And he also rode 3 bulls for 87 points or better over the weekend. He's number 4 in the world, and I think once we get into, if he were to win Reno, again, if he were to have a solid showing, he's got a great chance to win the long round. They only ride 1 in the long round in the bull riding in Reno. Great chance to make a bunch of money. And if he were to do that, I think he would really separate himself from the rest of the pack, except for Wacy Shaw and Stetson Wright. I think it becomes a 3-man race down to the finish. And then obviously we'll see what happens in Vegas. But I think those 3 might be head and shoulders above the rest all summer long. Let's go to the timed event side of things. Dustin Egaskiza and JC Flake, not normally partners. Dustin Egaskiza, number 3 in the world. JC Flake outside of the top 50. Dustin's primary partner is Levi Lord. They lead the average. They lead round 1. They're setting themselves up for a really big check in Reno, and that could really throw things out of whack there. We almost had split partners last year win the world title. Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe ultimately go back-to-back, but I think we got a lot closer than the history books are going to have us remembering. And now Dustin Egaskiza could be $15,000 ahead of his partner, Levi Lord. You couple that again with Tanner Tomlinson, who's now number 1 in the world. We'll get to that a little later, being $7,000 of his partner, Travis Graves. And it gets to a really interesting spot in Las Vegas if those 2 pairs remain in the top 3, 4, 5 heading into the Thomas and Mack. The other pair up there, Derek Begay and Coulter Todd, the Rodeo Houston champions. But could be a real sticky situation. Could be looking at a lot of world title scenarios in the team roping, which is what we saw heading into round 10 a year ago. Now on to the Snake River Stampede. And this rodeo in Nampa, Idaho, I always forget how much it pays. I think a lot of people don't realize how much it pays. Over $500,000. It gets pretty close to Reno in total payout. And let's rip through the winners here. A lot of people winning a lot of money here in Nampa. Starting with Rocker Steiner, 176 points on 2. It is part of a 4-win weekend for Rocker. He's number 2 in the world. Joe Nelson in the steer wrestling, 12.4 seconds on 3. He beats out number 2 in the rodeo and number 2 in the world, Jesse Brown, by a full second. Jake Smith and Douglas Rich, 13.7 on 3. They win the team roping. They are both number 9 in the world. Tanner Butner, 175.5 points on 2 in the bronc riding. He rode Womanizer for 89 points to win the finals. And the average, Marty Yates in the tie-down roping, 24.9 seconds on 3. He wins the rodeo by 2.8 seconds, the highest margin of victory we have seen in the tie-down roping in Nampa in the last decade. It was much closer in the barrel racing. McKenna Conrado, 47.2 seconds on 2. She was 200ths better than Wenda Johnson. And lastly, Wasey Shala, not giving Stetson Wright any room to make up any ground. He was 176.5 points on 2 to win the bull riding. He is still number 1 in the world and now over $165,000 on the season. Lastly, 3 stars from outside of Reno and outside of the Snake River Stampede. Let's start with Ryder Wright. We can't go by without talking about the Wright family this past weekend. He wins the Strawberry Days Rodeo. He wins Rodeo Santa Fe. He wins over $9,000. That lead over Dawson Hay is now over $35,000 in the PRCA Saddle Bronc riding world standings. Speaking of number ones, I mentioned it earlier. We got a new one in the team roping on the head side only. Tanner Tomlinson is about $1,000 ahead of Derek Begay on the head side, thanks to him and partner Travis Gray winning the Silver State Stampede with a 4.4 second run. They were also 4 flat in the finals to win the finals of the Snake River Stampede, second in round 2 there, ultimately 6th in the average, so good payday for them there as well. And lastly, Damian Brennan gets his first 90-point ride of the season to win the Silver State Stampede. He was also 87.5 points on both of his rides in Reno, so he leads the average there through 4 performances. That is your first summer run edition of No Huddle Rodeo. If you enjoyed, please like the video, please subscribe, please tell a friend. We will be here tomorrow. We'll be here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday coming at you from Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you to Runyon's Fine Furniture. Thank you to Justin Boots. We'll see you tomorrow on both the Morning Kick and No Huddle Rodeo.